Hi guys, with immense pleasure, I welcome you all to Unacademy Offline Center in Kochi. Today, we are going to learn a very short and sweet topic which is vertical circular motion, right? So, before we begin with the topic, how was your board exams, right? So, the 12th standard students who attempted the physics board exams must have understood that mugging up is not going to take them anywhere, right? Earlier, we used to say, we'll mug up for board exams. Competitive exams, we'll have a look after we finish our board exams. But this year's board exam was an eye-opener, which made students understand that mugging up is not going to help them. So today we are going to learn physics using all the stuff which is there at your home, making learning physics fun. Okay, so let's start with a small experiment to understand what is vertical circular motion. Now, this is an era of Swiggy, Blinkit, Zepto, whatnot, right? So this is my yesterday's takeout, and what I just did was I have attached a string to it. Okay, now this is something that you people can try at home. Okay, let's pour some water into it. Okay, now the task, okay, you can even play amongst yourself. The task is you have to upturn it, okay, you have to upturn it, but a single drop of water shouldn't fall off it. That's your task, okay, you can play it among your friends, and let's see. Now, here comes your physics, here comes your physics. So what are we going to do? We are going to circulate it, okay, and you will see that not even a single drop of water is going to fall off it. So let's begin, and here you go. You see that there is absolutely not a single drop of water which has fallen off it. Now let's learn the basic behind it, okay. Now we get into the serious part. Let's understand how, why, what. And if you study physics with all these questions in mind, trust me, it's going to be very easy and it's going to be very interesting. You will never say physics is boring, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do is draw the FBD. Remember, the way to attempt any questions of circular motion, be it in your NEET, be it in your JEE, be it in your school, is by drawing the FBD, free body diagram. Okay, so let's consider a pendulum. Okay, what do you mean by a pendulum? You have a string, attached to it is your bob, a ball, a mass. Okay, and we are going to rotate it in vertical plane, just as we did. Okay, so here's your vertical plane in which this is rotated. Okay, now let's take a random point, any point P. Now let's draw the FBD. Now when you're drawing free body diagram, basically you are drawing all the forces which is acting on the body. Remember, you are drawing only the forces acting on the body, not the forces acted by the body. Let's start with force of gravity. How does force of gravity act? Always vertically downward. Okay. We are considering the bob is having a mass m. Right? So what will be your force of gravity? Acting on it, mg. Okay. Next, check if the body has a string, a rope, anything which is attached to it. Now we are having a string attached to the body, which means tension is in picture. Okay. So you have tension acting always away from the body. Okay. Now, when this tension part came in, I have a question which is often asked by the students. See, you can imagine tension as how it's like a force which is exerted which prevents something from falling down. For example, let's say you have gone hiking to a cliff, okay, and by God's grace, you fall down, and along with you, you have let's say 3 friends are there with you. They also fall down. Okay. Now imagine the scenario in your mind. There is a cliff. Okay. You're hanging by a tree branch, and okay, so you have this is you, this is your friend, this is your another friend who all are hanging. Now, what are you people doing? You're preventing the other person from falling down. right? So here you are preventing the person from falling down. Basically, that's the tension. Okay. So basically here now imagine, obviously if I take this as T1 and T2, where will you have more tension? At T2? Why? Because this person is preventing two people from falling down, whereas this person is preventing just one person from falling down. That is how your tension also acts. Okay. So basically this is T, tension. Let's say we are having an angle of theta acting. Okay, the bob that I have considered is at an angle theta. And obviously because it is going in circular path, we will be taking centrifugal force. Okay, you can take centrifugal force or centripetal force. Let's say we are taking centrifugal force over here. How does centrifugal force act? Along the radius, away from the center. So this is how your centrifugal force is going to act. Okay. Now let's write down the equation. We have taken into consideration all our forces. Now we'll write down the equation. Okay. Now for writing down the equation, you need all the forces acting along the same xy axis. Okay. Now those kids who are who have currently finished 10th and going on to 11th, they may not be knowing. Till 10th we always study xy axis, right? But it's arbitrary. You can actually rotate it according to your requirement. Okay. Now over here, let's say I am considering this as my y-axis and I'm going to consider this perpendicular to it as my x-axis. Now you can see T and mv square by r is along y-axis. What is not along my xy axis? Mg, right? So we have to break mg into this xy axis. We call that as resolving. Okay. So let's resolve. You can see this is theta. So angle over here will also be theta. Resolving it. Now quickest or simplest way to resolve is, remember, side neighboring to theta, adjacent to theta will always be cos theta component. So here along this I will be having mg cos theta. The other one perpendicular to it, I will be having mg sin theta. Now it's resolved, right? Now we'll write down the equations. So we have upward force is equal to downward force. It's based on what? Newton's first law. You don't have the bob moving in this axis, right? It moves along your x-axis. So we will be writing upward force is equal to downward force. We have T is equal to mv square by r plus mg cos theta. This is how you write the equation for tension at any given point. Anything they ask you, you just have to draw the FBD in this manner. Okay. Now you have to start doing this with respect to a reference point, a starting point. Okay. That this is what is given in your books. When you go through your books, you will see that equations given to you, root 2 gr, root 5 gr, root gr. Okay. So if you go by the formula alone, it's very confusing. So let's start. Let's take points. This is going to be my A point. This is my B point. This is my C point. And this is my D point. The question that you will be facing is derive equation of tension in terms of VA, theta, M, G, R, okay, where R is the radius. Now, let's find the relationship between V and VA, for which we are going to take help of conservation of mechanical energy. Okay. Now, whenever you are going to apply your conservation of mechanical energy, few points that you have to keep in mind. There should be no non-conservative force. Okay. For example, friction. If friction is there in picture, what is going to happen? It is going to eat some part of your energy, right? Because of that, can you say initial mechanical energy is equal to final mechanical energy? No. Right. Now, let's see. Here, we are not considering friction. And if I take tension, how was my tension acting? Like this. How is the displacement happening? It's, let's say, rotating in this way. So angle between them is going to be what? 90 degree. And if angle between them is 90 degree, you have work done is equal to Fs cos theta. So this is going to be what? Tension into displacement into cos of 90 degree. Cos of 90 means 0. So because of tension, work done is 0, right? So what force do you have? You only have gravitational force, which is conservative in nature. So you can apply your conservation of mechanical energy, okay? So let's apply conservation of mechanical energy at A point, and at any random point, I'll take this as P, right? So you have potential energy at A point plus kinetic energy at A point is equal to potential energy at P point plus kinetic energy at P point. Okay. Now, this being my reference, my starting point, okay, potential energy is going to be 0 for A. So, what do you have? You just have kinetic energy at A, right? So, this is half mVA square will be equal to what will be your potential energy. Okay. Now, let's find potential energy. This is one more important point. How do you find potential energy? You should be knowing the vertical distance. Remember, vertical distance from your reference point, right? This is my reference, so this is my vertical distance that is required. Now for that, let's take the help of trigonometry. The total length is how much? R, right? Okay. Now have a look at this triangle. Do you see this triangle? Right? So won't this also be R? That's basically the length of the string that we are taking. Let's apply cos theta to this triangle. Okay, what is cos theta? Adjacent side upon hypotenuse, right? So let's say I take adjacent side as x. So cos theta is adjacent side upon hypotenuse. So x will be equal to what? R cos theta. So let's write it over here. X is R cos theta. So if this is R and this is R cos theta, what will this be? Won't that be R minus R cos theta? So you have your H. So let's write down the potential energy equation. This is going to be mg R minus R cos theta plus half mv square. Right? Now, what do we have in common? Do you see m in common? We are going to cancel it out. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Next, what are we going to do? We have 2 in the denominator, which I am going to cancel. How are you going to cancel that? Divide, multiply throughout by 2. Sorry, not divide. Multiply throughout by 2. So when you multiply by 2, what will you have? You have VA square is equal to 2GR minus R cos theta plus V square. So from this, I'm going to find my equation of V. V square is equal to VA square minus 2GR minus R cos theta. Now what are we going to do? We're going to substitute this in the equation of T. Okay, we're going to substitute it over here, and I'm going to find equation of tension in terms of VA, R, M, G, as the question was asked, right? So T will be equal to M. Let's write down the value of V square. VA square minus 2G R minus R cos theta upon R plus mg cos theta. Okay, trust me, it looks very big, but if you follow this method, you will never forget vertical circular motion, right? So let's open up the bracket. mVA square by R minus 2mg by R into R minus R cos theta plus mg cos theta. So this becomes mVA square by R minus 2mg. R and R will get cancelled out on opening. Then negative into negative will become positive, and you will have 2mgr by R cos theta plus mg cos theta. Okay, so R and R gets cancelled. Can't we simplify this further? So if I simplify this further, what will I have? T is equal to mVA square by R minus 2mg. 2mg plus mg, 3mg cos theta. Okay, so this is your equation of T in terms of VA, mg, theta. So this is the equation that we just got. Now, many children will ask, why we are doing this? We can directly go for give us formula and we'll write it down. But the problem is, mostly you will be given 99% of the times you will be given the starting velocity. Okay. Once they give you the starting velocity, they can ask you anything. They can ask you to find tension at any point. They can ask you to find velocity at any point. So for which this is going to be useful. This is how you're going to approach your question. Okay. Now let's understand what will be your tension at A point, B point and C point. Okay. Let's find tension at A point. Now at A point, what will be your theta? Won't theta be 0? So as you're having theta is equal to 0 degree, let's substitute it in the equation. So we have mVA square by R minus 2mg. Cos of 0 is 1 plus 3mg. So this becomes mVA square by R plus mg. This is going to be your tension at A. Done? Let's find tension at B. Similarly, theta is going to be what? 90 degree. Let's substitute theta is equal to 90 degree in the equation. So you have tension at B as mVA square by R minus 2mg. Cos of 90 is 0. So this becomes 0. So what do you have? You have mVA square by R minus 2mg. Right? Now let's find tension at C. So tension at C is going to be what? Tension at C. So for finding tension at C, what will be your theta? This is my reference point. Bob is at the topmost point. So the angle is going to be how much? 180 degree. So you have theta is equal to 180 degree. So tension at C point is going to be mVA square by R minus 2mg plus 3mg cos of 180 degree. Now what is cos of 180? Minus 1. So this becomes what? 3mVA square by R. Minus 2mg minus 3mg will be minus 5mg. Okay. Now if you look at the equation, what do you realize? What can you see? Can you see the tension is going on decreasing? Which means what? As the bob goes up, tension is going to go on decreasing. As well as what about velocity? Because you have force of gravity acting in downward direction, velocity also goes on decreasing. Speed goes on decreasing, tension goes on decreasing. This is what you have to keep in mind. Okay, the first conclusion, write it down in the margin, star mark, and thing that you will keep in mind is tension goes on decreasing, velocity goes on decreasing. Okay. Now comes the question, why is tension so important? See, if tension becomes 0, okay, if tension becomes 0 or negative, we can say that if tension is not positive, what is going to happen to your string, it's going to become slack, it will become loose. Okay, so if that happens, what is going to happen? The body is going to fall off the vertical circular loop. It won't follow a circular path. It will just fall off the path. Okay, so the condition for completing the circular path is, remember, tension should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, for completing circular loop. Okay. Now I know there will be a group of students who will again question me. I right now said that tension should not be 0, tension should not be negative, and again I am saying that tension should be greater than or equal to 0, right? See, the only possibility of tension becoming 0 at any point, in case it is completing a circular loop, is going to be where you have the minimum tension. And where do you have the minimum tension? At C point. Okay, and trust me, even if tension becomes 0 at C point, it won't fall off. Okay, that is basically because of inertia. The body is going to have some velocity, so the body is going to move off. Okay, because of which, and as soon as the body comes off this path, obviously it will be having tension developing. Tension again goes on increasing. Tension decreases, tension increases, tension decreases, tension increases. This is how vertical circular motion works. Okay, so basically this session was all about finding how to find tension at any point. Okay, hope you must have understood the basic. And before we end our session, the next point that we will be covering is critical velocity. What is critical velocity? And then we will be going for the velocities at different points. Okay, but before we end our today's lecture, you have a task from my end. Okay, I'm sure like most of these students who were over here must have seen the object that I'm going to show you next. So this is your task. This is something which is easily available in your neighborhood. It's a coconut, and you have your potato, which is again available in your kitchen. You just have to tie it to a string, and I have taken this is a curtain rod. Okay, this was left over from my home. I have taken it, okay, so that I can hold it. Right now, I am going to try to balance the coconut using a potato, okay, based upon whatever we have learned just now. It's basically because of your centrifugal force, you can say, or centripetal force, because of which we can balance this. Okay, so let's see how we are going to do it. Let's hold it. I'm holding it, and what you can try is, in the experiment when you're doing, you can increase the length, you can decrease the length, the radius basically, and find out what happens, okay, what goes on. This is how you start loving physics, right? So I'm holding it. So let's start. And you can see that the potato is doing circular motion and it is balancing your coconut, right? So now, what is your task? Your task is, you have to draw this in your book, and you have to draw your FBD basically, okay? So you have to try to draw the FBD of all the practical things that you find, which is going to help you improve your concepts, okay? Now, this was a task for the 10th appearing students who are going to be in 11th the next year, but for the NEET appearing students, you will definitely be getting one question from this section of vertical circular motion. The points which are extremely important from this chapter, when you are going to revise, see to it that you revise vertical circular motion, okay, the basic condition for this, and horizontal circular motion, and you have your banking of routes, okay. When you are revising, see to it that you do these 3 topics very thoroughly, which are extremely important for your NEET point of view. So when you are revising, as you cannot take the entire day, all you can do is try 2 questions, at least 2 to 3 questions from each of this point, and you can actually finish off this chapter very easily. You can ace this chapter. So that's all for now. Today what we did was just the basic of vertical circular motion, the starting point. If you are interested in learning in detail with us, do visit us at An Academy Offline Center, Kochi. Thank you.